Welcome back to our 31 in 31 series, a month of conversations with Proverbs 31 women. Today's episode features Sharon Davidson, a woman whose name has long been synonymous with service in her community. For more than 30 years, Sharon served as a branch manager for a local financial credit union until her recent semi-retirement. But she is perhaps best known for her tireless work as a community volunteer. From fundraising events to civic organizations, if there's a need in the community, Sharon is usually there lending a hand. Just a few years ago, she lost her beloved husband Daryl to an unexpected illness. This has brought on a season of deep grief for her. Yet through it all, Sharon's faith has been her anchor, and she continues to serve others with the same dedication she always has. Her story is one of resilience, service, and faith lived out in action. I am honored to share this conversation with you. Join me on the inside now as we talk with Sharon. Sharon, I am so glad that you have sat down with me today. And obviously we have had so much fun preparing for today. And to the listeners and viewers, we're hugged up because the setting is a little bit challenging, but it's beautiful. We are here in our sanctuary at Finley Baptist Church and going to have a conversation today about our thoughts on Proverbs 31 and the virtues that Proverbs 31 teaches us to live by. But one of the themes throughout all of the virtues in Proverbs 31 is how resourceful and responsible she is with the care of the kingdom. And that is what I know of you. That is what I have known of you for years and years and years. In your career, tell us a little bit about what you did in your career.
Well, 37 years I worked at the credit union, First South Financial Credit Union now. And the last 9 months, I've been an IRA administrator 2 days a week because I was semi-retired.
Yeah.
Kind of stepped back. Yeah. The 10 years before that, I was a legal secretary and a legal. You didn't remember that, did you?
I didn't remember that. I didn't know
and a legal assistant. Yeah. We did all those years. I started with John Palmer's office when it was in the alley. We were not. I was with Palmer and Palmer when Rocky was still living.
John
Palmer and Jordan, and Palmer and Wilkerson. But when that kind of became, Gerald Ketchum was an affiliate there. He left and he went over on Masonic, and I went with him for 10 years. And we were the representative legal counsel for Dyersburg Credit Union.
For them, okay.
And when they decided to hire a full-time employee, that was me. I became their first full-time employee in 1987. I got married the 20th of December.
Daryl.
I did. And I went to work for the credit union on the 28th day of December of 87. And so that's where I'd been ever since then. And I love it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. That was a blessing. I came through the ranks because I was a teller, if you will, a representative, and then I became the manager of the credit union. And then when we merged in 2010, then I became the VP of the branch.
And so in all of those years of managing everyone else's money and guiding folks in their financial decisions, you were blessed in that career with an opportunity to be able to be civically involved.
I was.
And you still are. And so I think in our community, when you say the name Sharon Davidson, the first thing that will come to a lot of people's minds, of course, is your involvement in your career at the credit union. But the second thing is likely going to be, oh yeah, if you have a fundraiser, call Sharon. Not because you put on all the fundraisers, but because you are so trustworthy with helping manage money in fundraisers. And throughout Proverbs 31, it speaks of the virtue of management, of financial responsibility. She supports her husband, the scripture says, so that he will have no lack of gain.
Right.
It speaks of when she has profits, she plants a vineyard. She pours back into others things that will continue giving. And that's what you've done for years. I can't think of I was trying to add up in preparation for our conversation today, just the fundraisers and things and the causes I know you've been involved in and helped manage the money throughout those fundraisers has to be in the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, Lord help me. I have no idea.
Yeah. I can think of just a few that we've been involved in together that were lots of money. And so, that's a virtue. I think you and I have had a conversation about, you were like, why in the world did you ask me to be in this series? Because you didn't feel yourself as being, living with those virtues. But
no.
I think that is one of the virtues, is that you don't think of yourself as.
I don't. I'm just a servant. That's all. I'm just the mere, the hands or whatever. I'm not no.
But at the core of all that is your faith.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how throughout your career even you may have been able to rely on your faith or to impart your faith. Because it's hard in the workplace.
It is, but we've always been blessed in that we could really kind of step out there. When we needed to have prayer with members, or we needed to be praying for members, or they had people that were sick, or financial hard times and things. I mean, we've all had prayer time that we've had with those people over the years. Make no mistake, we're there to help. I mean, the whole credit union motto philosophy is people helping people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah. And so it's ingrained. Yeah. It's ingrained.
Yeah. So that's a perfect job for you.
Right. And so we just tried to instill that and helping them when they have problems. I had a man come to me when we were downtown, and he said his son had a credit card compromised, and he is like, and we ran TV ads. We hadn't been running them long, and we were running these TV ads, and he said, you say people helping people, me people, you help me.
Oh.
And so we got the BIN number of that guy's credit card. It had been used in a fraud thing, and we helped him get through that. And that man, I don't even remember the man's name, but he didn't have anything to do with the credit union. He just knew that ad said we were going to help.
You were people, and he was people, and you help people.
We were going to help.
That's fantastic. So, something else that I have known about you too is that you have a hard time taking help. And there have been times in your life, especially in the last 3 to 4 years, particularly, that you've walked a season that many other women before you have walked, and all of us may walk after you as well. We spoke a few minutes ago about dear old Daryl.
Yep.
And, you walked through a season of losing him pretty quickly. I mean, he had a health scare and had been sick for a little bit, but not terminal sick.
We didn't have any idea.
Mm-hmm. And so tell us a little bit about how you relied on faith, or how your faith community, maybe even still today, is helping you through that.
Well, that was Christmas 9 of 21, and Daryl had gone into the hospital to have some surgery on his leg so that he could walk Caitlin down the aisle in April. And
your only daughter.
And it went south.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But during those last 2 weeks, a friend of mine from the credit union days sent me a verse.
Okay.
And I'm not good at remembering, so I'm going to read it to you. But this has been my go-to, and it's Isaiah 41:10. For I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of righteousness. Oh my gosh, y'all, that became my go-to, and it still is. It's on a picture on a wall in my kitchen that Caitlin had done for me of a sunset. And it don't come with a roadmap. Grief does not come with a roadmap. It doesn't come with a how-to manual. You have to find your own way. Now, granted, there is help out there, and I get that, and that's necessary, but everybody has to find their own way.
Right.
And you have those days that you just feel like you can't get out of the recliner and out of your pajamas. Okay, it's okay. Stay in your pajamas and stay in your recliner, but you got to get up and go. You can't just sit there and wallow. I can't. I can't speak for other people.
Right.
I've got to get up. I got to be out. If it wasn't for Caitlin and my church family and friends, oh my God. I mean, I would have probably still been
in your pajamas,
in my pajamas in the recliner. But I know that's not what Daryl would have wanted. He loved trips, and we did trips. And so with that, the ladies that I run with, we have all lost our husbands, ironically, except for one that's with us all the time. But and she hasn't, and praise God for that. But she's kind of our anchor, I think, sometimes in keeping the rest of us together. But yeah, they've helped me. You know, sometimes they're the reason I get up and get out, and sometimes I'm the reason they get up and get out.
Yeah.
And so we all kind of fit together, and we travel well together. But if it hadn't been for God's grace and strength and the help that my church family has given me, yeah, I would probably still be wallowing.
Yeah. And and it's okay.
It is.
It's okay. It's okay. Your and Daryl's love story was so cute. It was so sweet. It was so sweet. But that, you know, and true to the Proverbs 31 scripture, you know, it speaks of being a helpmate, a support. And while I watched you be that for years and years and years for Daryl, I saw the same reciprocated from him. And I think that's such a testimony too to the young couples that you know, our church today is filled with beautiful young families now.
It is, yeah.
And it's such a wonderful thing to see. But I wish that they have the opportunity to observe couples like you and Daryl were. And you know, we all have our pews, you know, here in church, and I know where you and Daryl always sat, and where my husband and I, you know, have typically always sat until we've gotten so crowded lately we're having to find places to sit.
Right.
But I always had a vantage point of you and Daryl, you know, when Daryl was here, and I used to love, you know, that just watching him put his arm, you know, on the pew behind you, and just little things like that. And how he supported you.
Whatever I was into, he was into, because we were in it together.
Right.
Whatever fundraiser we were a part of, or whatever we had going on, we were there for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, that you stand behind what your mate is doing. And of course, that is a part of what the Proverbs woman does. But you know, that wasn't the why we were doing it. It's just that's what we did. Yeah. And we brought Caitlin up the same way, in that, you know, to teach her from all those years ago, because we worked in the Findlay Fire Department booth at the fair every week. Oh my gosh, for 20-some years. Probably.
You know, my husband and I met later in life after previous marriages, and one of the first things that while we were dating, I mean, we had only been dating just a few weeks, I think, really, and I'm pretty sure it was probably a test. You know, like, if she can handle this, she's going to be able to handle anything about my life. That he talked me into going to him and working that food truck back before food trucks were a thing.
Right.
It was legitimate. It was like a food truck.
Right.
And slinging spaghetti all night long.
Running hamburgers through the garden.
Running hamburgers.
But I handled the cash drawer.
Yeah. But you handled the cash drawer. Always handling the money. Always handling the money.
That's funny.
But yeah, so yeah, we survived that, and thank God that was the last year y'all did that.
Caitlin stood on a concrete block most of her younger days, and that's how she was raised. Yeah. Was helping with that booth.
Yep. I'll never forget it. As a matter of fact, we were returning from our honeymoon the following year. We were on our way back from our honeymoon, and we landed in Memphis and realized what time it was, and it was kickoff of fair night. And we were like, we have plenty of time. We've got just enough time to get from Memphis to Dyersburg Fairgrounds to eat a plate of spaghetti at the church booth.
Yeah, it was lots of hands and lots of people over the years through that booth. It was good.
Yeah. So see, I mean, you know, just the simplest things. That's what this episode is about. It's just ordinary women, doing extraordinary things, and for furthering the kingdom. And I believe that you have had your hands and feet being hands and feet for a lot of years, and that's to be celebrated about you, but it's to be praised.
Well,
you know,
I appreciate that, but you know, Stan Kavanaugh has always said, you keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
It's got to stay focused on God. Yeah. If it's not about God, there's no point.
That's right. And there can't be an even more perfect way to end this. So, do you have any other scriptures or anything that you brought?
I did have one. 1 Peter 4:10, as every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. Because, without God, and he gives us all of this skill set, all of these spiritual gifts, and we have to be good stewards of whatever that is. And I think we have to be careful, or he'll take those gifts away if we don't use them.
Use them or lose them.
That's right.
It's a use it or lose it kind of thing. That's absolutely true. And one thing we haven't touched on too is another way you're getting to steward your faith is this new little addition you have to your family.
We have Lily.
Lily, and so you are a GG.
I am a GG. I also have 3 other bonuses.
Yes, that's right.
I have Macy, Madison, and Mackenzie.
Bonus GG.
And now I have Oliver, and he's a great.
Right.
But I haven't even met that baby yet.
Oh.
He's going to have a birthday soon, and he's not that. Anyway, it's just life, y'all.
Yeah.
But
they live a good distance away.
And so I don't get to see them as much. But Lily is, she's a sassy one. She's going to make Caitlin pay for a raisin, and I thought we raised her right. But she's a handful, and I love that. So I hope that as she has time to reflect, and I'm not here anymore, that she will remember being empathetic and kind and a Christian woman. That's what I hope that Lily gets out of my life, that she can carry forward.
I'm sure she will. I know that Caitlin will instill that in her too. So she's adorable. She is so cute. She's so cute. Leave us with some encouragement let's talk to the woman who is widowed, maybe newly widowed, or she's, like you, maybe 4 or 5 years down into that season now. And she's just trying to find her next season. You know what I mean? Not necessarily her next husband. And that's what I'm talking about. She's trying to adjust to her new normal, where the day goes quiet at the end of the day when you're home from work and the house is empty.
The nights are the roughest.
Right. And you keep busy, obviously, being involved civically and with fundraisers and things. Let's talk to that woman. Give her a word of encouragement. And I'm really glad that you touched on that. Grief is not a one size fits all. Everybody has to figure out their thing. They have to figure out their way to cope. And just what word of encouragement do you have?
Well, don't give up. Get up and get out. You think you don't want to, and you can convince yourself you don't want to, but you got to get up and get out, or you'll drive yourself crazy. And, you miss them like crazy. You know where they are and that they're in a better place, but your heart still hurts. Mm-hmm. And so you have to choose joy.
Yeah. Did you ever find that time, and I think it's perfectly human that we all probably do, but have you found a time where you've just been angry at God?
I never got angry. Mm-hmm. I never got angry. I knew, in those last 2 or 3 years that Daryl had gotten so sick, the last couple of years particularly, and then that last 12 months were tough.
They were hard on him.
They were, and he worked every day. He worked till December the 10th, and he passed away. I think it was the 10th. And then he, passed away on the 25th. But no, anger is not, I don't remember ever going through the anger side or the what if side, because I knew that his illness is not how he wanted to live. Mm-hmm. And he told me more than once that he was ready. When God was ready, he wasn't scared, and he was ready.
I think we should all be that way.
Exactly. I think the human side of us kind of pulled back from that. But I just think that you have to, you just have to step out on that faith, and you've got to claim that that God's going to be there with you. He's going to walk with you, and he's going to be there to pick you up, because you're going to stumble so many times and you're going to fall, and all you can do is bend your knee and pray.
Yeah, and you've got to find a faith family.
You do.
I don't know. I just don't know how people walk through adversity, whether it's the loss of a loved one, whether it's sickness, whether it's, a financial situation. Just adversity in general comes in so many forms. But I don't know how anybody does it without a faith family.
Oh, yeah. Finley Baptist is the best church family. And not to knock anybody else's church family. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just know that from my experience, right? From my experience, we are the best church family.
Yeah. Yeah. And full disclosure, there is no sponsorship here of any episode.
There's not.
We just have our opinions that we love to share for you.
That's right.
Yeah, I really appreciate your friendship. I appreciate
Me
all
too.
that you have done in this community. I know that there will be people would be screaming from the rooftops to ditto their appreciation for all you've done. And so, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you
you
for having me.
Thanks for joining in today for this episode of the 31 in 31 series, a month of conversations with Proverbs 31 women here at the Authentically You Network podcast. We look forward to yet another great episode tomorrow and hope that you will join us to be inspired, encouraged, and have your faith strengthened. Have a great day and be blessed.